Figures that we get the bubbles back and there's no one here to enjoy them. Let's see. Good evening. Welcome back to the Late Night Playset, everybody. Hello. My name is Jay Ryan. Tonight is Tuesday, July 29th, 2025. Here's a little inside baseball for you. Today's actually Monday, July 28th, and I'm in the playset alone. There's no one here with me. This is just a quick pre-tape to tell you what we're doing tonight. As you may or may not recall, our good friend of the show, personal friend, Paul Kennel is going under the knife. He went under the knife this morning. Excuse me. It's Tuesday, July 29th. So that's where we all are. We're all over at the hospital, but we didn't want to not give you a show. And it's going to be a best of tonight. One of the first episodes, it's like in the first 20 or 30, something like that. But in the old days when we did, man, did I make a bubbly mess. Holy crap. Jeez. Got to work on the bubble machine. One of our first guests was a guy named Chuck Miller. He's a SoCal Porsche legend. Been around forever. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. He passed away earlier this year, a few months ago. And he was one of our first guests, and it just felt like the right time to pull that episode out of mothballs. It's going to be three people sitting at a dining room table. We're literally, this is going to be hard to believe, but we're sitting in the same space in the video you're about to watch that I am sitting in right now. Where I would be seated is exactly where Chuck Miller was when this was a dining room with a dining room table. So it'll be very interesting for me to revisit this episode. It originally aired on March 27th, 2018, and we've always done these the day of. So we shot it on March 27th, 2018. Gosh, that is a long time ago. But that's what's going on. So we have a lot of love for Paul Kennel this evening, and I'm going to shut up and let you enjoy Chuck Miller and the late beautiful wife of mine, Nicole Shabbat Ryan. Enjoy.
But I do like to tell stories, and good. All of them are really true.
Well, we're recording right now,
point.
And here we go.
I'm Chuck.
Hi, Chuck.
Look it up there.
Through the S's.
Chuck Miller through the S's. How about that?
Do you see?
Wow.
The S's.
The S's.
Does that make sense?
No.
The S's.
Oh,
The S's.
no.
Oh, geez, I'm sitting here in the dark. Sorry, there we go. The S's. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, well.
The S's is a magazine. You are Chuck Miller. I'm Jay Ryan. Here's Mrs. Ryan.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Today is Tuesday, March 27th, and we are sitting here with Chuck Miller, who is also in studio with James Gambit over here, who's our studio audience, who's laughing silently. You can make noise.
We read these
drinking a Coke out of the bottle.
You're British, right?
Oh, no.
Oh, my.
I mean, fundamentally?
Australian.
You have an accent.
Swiss,
Oh, okay. Australian.
Australian,
accent.
British, Swiss, American, he said.
Yo, I'm geographically challenged and spatially challenged and now memory challenged. So if you've told me any of that, I don't remember. And I just realized in the moment that you have an accent.
In the moment.
I have an accent. No. You have an accent.
We got to get him over here on
I know, I
mic, too,
can't
at some
wait.
point.
That's right.
He
He'll
just
say
hawks
things
out his
like,
friends.
No. And I say, James, I think in this country we say no.
That's exactly right. Is that where you're going to sit? I'm going to turn you up just a little bit.
What do you mean by that? Turn me up.
I'm going to turn your... Yeah. I'm going to climb under the desk and reach the potentiometer. All right.
You have a couple of Weber carburetors on your shirt.
I do. This is from Carpe Gear. Our good friend
Hi,
Dwight
Dwight.
over at Hi, Dwight. Our good friend Dwight over at Carpe Gear.
Those are really old Weber carburetors.
Tell us what you know about them.
Oh boy. Those carburetors are like from the Italian cars of the 50s.
Well, you spent some time with Alfas, right?
I did. I did.
Can you do me a favor, though, and just try these on for a second, just so you can hear how different you sound than me?
Okay.
And then we can figure out where the mic is. Mrs. Ryan has this happen all the time, so there's no worries
I'm
about
the
it.
worst.
Hello?
I'm going to start that
Hello?
hashtag.
Hello?
You don't have to get up on it, but anywhere in the middle.
Hello.
There we go. I can hear you
Hello.
now. That's beautiful.
Is that better?
It's much better.
Okay.
Are you comfortable?
I am. Oh man, where to start? I'm 68 years old. I was born in Boston, and my family moved out here when I was 1. So I've been a Southern California guy since 1950.
But by blood, you're a Northeaster, just like us.
Well,
Interesting.
I certainly had that conversation at the dinner table.
Okay.
Park the car.
We were talking about this old house
That's
the other day.
John's.
Well, Bob, down in the cellar, Bob.
So I had East Coast upbringing from the dinner table, that's for sure. But for sure, dyed-in-the-wool Southern California guy. And from age 3 to about 19, I lived within short walking distance of Van Nuys Boulevard, which was ground zero for kind of the golden years of drag racing.
Wow.
So I kind of got into it when I was really, really young. I think I saw my first cool car when I was in the back seat of my dad's car, standing up in the seat, because of course there was no car seats, there was no seat belts.
There was no such, not even an idea of child safety law back then.
And I think, the memory is, because I was so young, I must have been 5 or 6 years old. The memory was, it was like a 54 or 55 Chevrolet. Mm-hmm. So actually, it was a pretty new car, but it was customized already. It was violet, and I thought, wow, that's
This is
really
like a Bel Air we're talking about, that type of something?
Yeah, something like that.
Your dad had a violet
No,
Bel
no,
Air?
no, no, no.
The car you
This
saw.
is the car I
Oh,
saw
all right,
in the
my
back
bad.
seat of my father's car. And then my dad took me to a concours at the Beverly Hills Golf Club.
So already what I'm hearing is your dad was into cars too.
A little bit. I mean,
Okay.
a little bit. He did his own, change the oil and plugs and stuff like that. But back in the 50s, the thing to do was every October was to go to the dealerships and see the new cars for the following year, the following production year.
Sure.
So we had all the dealerships right on Van Nuys Boulevard, Chevrolet, Oldsmobile.
It was your own
Pontiac.
auto show almost, right?
Absolutely. And then, talking about your own auto show, they did have the Los Angeles Auto Show, and back in those days, they had Futurama cars. So
That were actually probably futuristic.
very, or they were stylized cars that were coming out the following year, but they just did a number to them.
Right. Through a
Special
little
paint,
atomic age, something special.
Special paint jobs, special interiors, and then you had the ladies in the gowns that would present the cars, unlike the hot chicks that are doing it now.
It's different. They were
absolutely.
There was a
Yeah.
splendor and a gorgeousness to them,
Absolutely.
if I recall.
Absolutely.
You're 100% right. We talk about this whenever we walk around now every year, and it's one of those things where certainly it's lovely to look at a beautiful woman. Of course, James is laughing, but it does seem like it's gotten skewed a bit. What are we selling over there? You know what I'm saying? Like the girls in the gowns, it's sort of almost. It's like seasoning. It brings out the best of the car versus the bikini. It's like, well, what are you looking at,
Well,
James? What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the carbs on your shirt.
Nice carbs. Show us your carbs.
well,
Dwight.
Spring break.
Dwight.
that's actually much closer to the truth than you know.
Is it?
You betcha.
Okay.
Like in the late 40s, those bullet bumpers on Cadillacs were stylized from the bullet brassiers
The
of
cone
the
bras.
day.
Really?
Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
That's
So
awesome.
the fins and all of that is really more just adding to the sexiness of the.
The fins
femininity?
The fins were much more futuristic and aeronautical.
That's what I remembered. It was the end
Yeah.
of the atomic age, for basically, as I recall, for the big wings and the big fins.
Yeah, and it was universal. It was in Europe as well. They had goofy fins on Mercedes Benzes. You know, it was pretty universal. But it was
There's one over here with the 59,
There-
59 caddy fins, the green one.
Oh, yeah. Well, 59 Cadillac was the was the height of that. It didn't get.
Sorry, yeah. So no, somebody put them on a Mercedes SL convertible. It's at a gas station around the corner.
Oh my!
We've posted it on
Well,
Instagram.
actually, talking about right around the corner from where we are, that was George Barris Custom Cars, and it still is.
The place is still there.
The place is still there.
I've had a lot of dealings with George over the years. Did you know him personally at all? And his wife. I knew his wife as well.
Actually, I was always an artist. So when I was a little kid, I would draw pictures of cars. And one time, one of my older friends, I always got along with older friends because I had a 10-year older brother.
Interesting.
So I had an
Very
older
much.
friend drive me over to George's shop. And
Which is still there, right on Riverside
yeah,
and
yeah.
Cahuenga.
Yeah. And I showed him my drawings, wanting to know if I could work for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like
Common tale, right?
13 years old. And he was very, very nice. He said, "These are very good, Charles." I wasn't Chuck yet. However, I do my own designing, but these are very good. So I went, wow.
He's still giving you
Yeah.
at
That's
least
a
some.
huge high five.
It was. And then, only probably about 7 years later, maybe less than that, I remember seeing the Lincoln Futura.
That's what I was going to say. That's literally what I was going to bring up when we were talking about the wings and the Futura and the Batmobile.
Absolutely.
I didn't mean to cut you off there, but that's literally where I was going with it.
Well,
That's awesome.
where that car lived, that car lived on the easement by the sidewalk where there was a payphone and a fire hydrant, and then there was a little bit of grass, mud, crappy easement. That's where that car lived for a few years until it started sinking, and then it got shipped back into the shop. And then it became, and I
So
don't
was
know,
it just a custom? I remember it was a concept car as the story back in the day, right?
concept car.
Yeah. So he just got a hold of a concept car afterwards.
What's interesting,
And it just
what's
was-
interesting, Jay, is how many concepts lay dormant at manufacturing plants, and people in the know grabbed them.
Yeah.
Like Dean Jeffries, the customizer on Cahuenga Boulevard that the shop is no longer around.
Okay, I don't know him.
Dean Jeffries got the Ford GT prototype convertible
Whoa.
from Ford that had since gone to seed. It was in the back of Dearborn warehouse, and Dean Jeffries went there for something, and he said, "What's that?" And they said, "Oh," and he said, "Do you want it?" And he said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, all those things had to have like a money exchange for
Yeah.
bookkeeping.
Well, even if
So
it's
it was
a dollar.
A dollar. So it was like $1.
So many of those stories.
And the last time I heard about that car, it was at Pebble Beach. His son, as Dean passed away, his son finally finished that car, and it's priceless. It's priceless
Wow.
car.
I love that he still has it. That's so cool.
It's
What a
it's-
good.
as far as I know,
drivable
it's
story.
still in the family. Yeah.
If I may, just because it's along the same lines of this, and I told you yesterday, I was like, boy, I'm dying to tell that story on the show someday if there ever an opportunity presents itself.
Yes, please.
Thanks, Chuck.
Charles.
Thanks, Charles. Nice drawings. We went over and visited Rod Emery's shop yesterday, and
Amazing.
yeah, fantastic, and his
Yeah.
new place too,
Yeah.
absolutely incredible. It happened to be in the same neighborhood as some place else that I used to frequent a lot. All of these, how we're in car culture, Porsche world, and everything else is just in the valley over here.
Yeah.
There's a picture car company that's over there as well. I don't want to say too much because Rob was sensitive about the address and stuff. But there's a picture car company over there as well. And they are a company that I had dealt with a lot in the past. And during this time when I was dealing with them very, very regularly, the movie Gone in 60 Seconds, the remake of Gone in
Sure.
60 Seconds came out with the Eleanor, of course.
Yeah.
And this was the shop that built all the Eleanors for the movie. And the movie came out. It was fine. It was whatever. But everybody went ape shit over the car because it was. Sure. It's a cool car anyway, a GT500. But then it's customized and it's got other stuff and whatever. Well, the owner of this place was a guy I had dealt with very regularly, and he was going to sell me one of the remaining Eleanors. They had 2 left. There may have been 3 left. I think 1 was sold, but most of them were crashed. They gave 1 to Jerry Bruckheimer. The only real Shelby, I think they gave to Jerry Bruckheimer. But this was, some are interior cars, some are exterior cars. But this was a real screen-used Eleanor. And he wanted $100,000, and I didn't have $100,000. And I got him down to like 85 or something like that. I didn't have 85, but I thought that'd be easier to find. So I tried to move heaven and earth to try to get this money to get this car. And he was going to finish it for me. It was actually an automatic, but he was going to make it a 4-speed. He was going to, make it trick. And it was all included. I couldn't get the money. About 2 years later, 2.5 years later, the replica world just blew up. One of those companies, I can't remember, one Unique Performance, or one of them started recreating them and whatever. And the replicas were all of a sudden going for $200,000. And the screen used cars were trading for almost $1 million if you could sell one. And it was one of those stories where I'm like, son of a gun, if I was young and didn't have any way to. Actually, I had ways to get the money, but nobody would give it to me because I was young. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And it was one of those stories where, ooh, if I still had that.
Oh, we all have those stories.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, maybe that's a good lead the witness then.
maybe. Yeah. I think what was interesting is what you said before about how we are in the middle of automania. And it really is ground zero. Actually, it used to be more.
Really?
Than it is now. There used to be more venues. Like today, we have one drag strip, local.
Irwindale?
I'm sorry?
Is that Irwindale? Is that it?
No, it's Pomona.
Pomona.
Pomona only runs a couple of times a year.
Wow.
Irwindale is a 1/8 mile.
Oh, I thought they had a drag strip too.
They do. It's an 1/8 mile, not a 1/4 mile.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. I mean, I know people will be pissed at me
No,
thinking that an 1/8 mile is kind of wussy, but
No,
It's
I
wussy,
didn't
and
realize the
that's where we
difference.
went, right?
Well, we were on the oval track, but yes,
Yeah.
we were at the
It's still
same
wussy.
location.
yeah. So,
nice
I
way.
mean, we had
The length of track.
You didn't see what he's talking about is
when-
what we're trying to get here.
we had 4 major drag strips with locally. We had Pomona. Pomona was always there.
Is that where the fairground is now?
Correct.
Okay.
And they still run the drag races at Pomona. They run the first drag race of the season and the last drag race of the season. We had San Fernando Drags, which was our local drag strip, which was on Glen Oaks by the Wash. And the wind blowing in the right direction, I could hear them at my house. So that kind of tuned up a 12-year-old.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah. We also had the best drag strip there was, and that was Lyons Drag Strip on 223rd Street and Alameda, right off the 405 freeway. It is a
What would that be near? I don't. For some reason.
Cormier Chevrolet right off the freeway.
Oh yeah, with the old sign.
Right,
Beautiful.
right there.
No kidding.
And now it's a ship container storage yard. But that being so close to the ocean, and therefore having the humidity and the air molecules that was just the most conducive for bigger injectors to feed as much fuel as possible, because you had the air quality was so phenomenal that you always had the quickest ETs and the fastest top speeds at Lyons. It
This
was
is
the best,
so interesting.
best drag strip there was. And then there's Carlsbad down in Carlsbad, south of Oceanside.
Mm-hmm.
There was Half Moon Bay up in Half Moon Bay.
So what happened? Why did these all close down? Were they
Property value.
That's okay.
Property value and
But it wasn't regulatory. It wasn't safety and things like that.
no, heavens no, not bad. No. It was property value first, and then as the suburbs encroached, then all of a sudden people were up in arms about being next to a venue that made a lot of noise, even though it was once a week, even though that
People just jump on board.
was going on years before the suburbs started. It's the same thing that's going on at Laguna Seca up in Monterey. And that's been going back and forth forever.
Are they having ordinance issues up there too?
They always have.
Okay.
And in fact, Laguna Seca could only run loud, what we call loud, I think 4 times a year.
I grew up in Connecticut, and Lime Rock was my home track,
Sure.
and they don't run on Sundays for the exact same reason. It's
Well,
a
they-
racetrack that you don't run on Sunday. It's like unheard of. That's the day. That's race day.
Yeah.
And it's closed.
Lime Rock's never run on Sunday.
Isn't that something?
Yep. Yeah. So we've lost all of that heritage, that Automania heritage. We're left with one local road racing track, and that's Willow Springs. We had Riverside Raceway. That was in a...
Willow, I count as 3 raceways, though, because it's 3 different tracks that are all so different, you know? I know it's one race center.
Yeah, but you have to realize that the heritage goes back to 1954.
Okay.
So before it was paved, it was oiled hard pack.
Awesome.
Yeah. So the small track didn't go in until 1986.
I didn't even know. Honestly, I didn't even know it was that early. I thought it was a couple of years ago. A Horse Thief Mile? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Oh, streets.
Streets.
Okay.
And then the streets kept on expanding. I started racing my car on the streets the second year it was open.
What car?
My Porsche.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure where they all landed, like what kind of cars were over there.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
So we lost Riverside. Riverside was in a god-awful location, but everybody loved the track. It was the best road racing track ever.
Really?
Yeah, we lost Ontario Motor Speedway, the Big O, and now we have Fontana very close in proximity to where Ontario Motor Speedway used to be.
What are your feelings on Fontana?
Fontana is a great venue. It's a great venue. I've run the short track there with my car. I've done very aggressive lunch laps on what we call the Roval, which is the inside and the
around.
outside.
Yeah,
And
I love that.
And I was at an IndyCar race for the Oval, and they don't go any faster anywhere.
Really?
Than Fontana. I mean, crazy fast. However, I would say
Crazy fast. I mean, they're doing 230 or so, right?
absolutely.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So shame on us. Shame on us in this
What?
in this area. In
really
this
are.
area, I mean, we think we're so all that and all bad. We are bad because we are auto ground zero. Well, bullshit. We've lost so much of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but all right, okay. So those are the venues you're talking about. What about all the shops?
Shops.
Because there were always race shops. There were always
Absolutely.
custom shops.
Absolutely. And in fact, when you visited Rod Emery, seeing that I got into this so young, so early, and I used to collect car magazines when I was just a little kid.
Yeah.
I remember the grandfather. I remember Neil Emery.
No kidding. And that was Valley Customs? Is that right? That's what he told us.
Valley
Yeah.
Custom. And the thing about Neil Emery was when there was Dean Jeffries and George Barris. Actually, it was the Barris brothers back then. There was 2 brothers.
Really?
Back.
I never knew that.
Oh,
I knew.
yeah.
I mean, I knew George in his later years until he died.
Well, yeah. His brother died pretty young.
Okay.
And there was a whole bunch of other people doing it. Of all of those 50s guys, late 40s, early 50s guys, Neil was the guy that was the most understated and the most proportional. When you saw a Neil Emery custom, you just went, that just looks right.
It's just right.
It's just right. And then when you really started looking at it, you went, holy shit, there's a lot of work in this.
A lot of work in this to make it look just barely different.
Yeah, well,
I got that vibe in Rod Shop also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely in the genes.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I still have some of those old magazines.
Cool.
I'm a keeper of stuff.
Up in the garage loft.
Yeah.
Garage attic.
Yeah. So I was a drag race kid being drug around by my older friends. So every Saturday night was Lions and every Sunday was San Fernando.
Wow.
San Fernando raced on Sunday. Lions raced on Saturday night. And that's what you did. And that kind of took me all the way through into high school. And then in high school, I met this crazy friend of mine that I still have to this day.
Okay.
And he came here with his family when he was 6 from Argentina. So all of a sudden it was Juan Fangio. All of a sudden it was Alfa Romeo. And his father had an Alfa Romeo. But this friend of mine, Hector, had a 39 Ford show coupe because he was a hot rodder kid, just like everybody, with a flathead in it, and it was...
I'm just thinking that was the car you could do anything to.
Yeah, and it was once owned by the president of the Throttlers Car Club. That was like a big thing.
Really?
Yeah, the thing went 90 miles an hour and a quarter mile back in the 50s with a flathead.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Was it stripped out? It was all stripped out to be a race car?
No,
this was just a car.
It was a street car.
No shit.
Great.
That sounds awfully quick.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a great car. And
It would be quick by today's standards. Maybe not today's standards, but by yesterday's standards, it would be
I'm
quick.
just envisioning you in the car. Like, there's nothing good. It's so fast.
There was a weird bottom line sad story to that. We took the whole car apart to make it a gas coupe drag car, and it never got done. So we took Hector's pride and joy,
FYI,
and we ended up selling it for weight. Whoa. Back then, even hot rod flathead parts, you couldn't give them away.
Wow.
It was scrap metal. And today, if you had those period Offenhauser flathead heads, the Strongberg 97 3 carburetor, all that stuff would be a fortune today. So anyway...
And it's all become this table and this mic stand and all this other...
So
there's a little bit of it everywhere, Chuck.
I figured that if that friend of mine didn't actually kill me, we would become friends for a real long time. He was into road racing as well. So his father, Hector Sr., who was a jeweler in Beverly Hills, took us to the 1966 Times Grand Prix, which was the first Can-Am at Riverside.
Okay, so it would have been Riverside. Okay, so
Right.
Can-Am. That's very cool with the wings and the whole bit.
Not yet.
Okay.
It was too early.
Wow.
It was the first Can-Am at Riverside.
And
so,
about when was this, you said?
1966.
66, okay.
Yeah, 1966.
Okay, so probably 5 years before that big wing, maybe more.
Yeah.
Right? Was
maybe,
that early 70s, 72, 73, something like that?
Actually...
You would know better than me. My memory is...
A couple of years. Because Jim Hall had the Chaparral. Soon after that, in 67, had the big wing on top.
Oh, okay. So sooner than even I was thinking. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. I got you.
So,
I derailed you. Sorry, Chuck.
No, that's okay. But
first Can-Am race at Riverside.
From a kid that was a drag race kid. And the cool place to be at Riverside was the dirt slope to the grandstands at turn 6, where you look down the S's and with the cars coming up. And I didn't know what to expect. So as a drag race kid, the only thing I could compare it to was like a gas-altered drag car.
Okay.
You know, which went really, really fast, but for a quarter of a
short
mile.
Amount of time,
Right? So that was the equivalency in horsepower, noise, visceral...
The chest.
To your chest. Yeah. Except there was 30 of them. They were going to make right and left turns, and they were going to do it for a half a day. in front of me.
Yeah,
So
that sounds amazing. I'd have to see it too. I'd have to see it.
Fell in love.
Yeah.
So that was my first road race.
Wow.
So from there, I started going to the local road races at Willow Springs and Riverside. And in fact, I saw the second to the last road race at Goleta in Santa Barbara.
Wow.
Used to have road races with hay bales.
In Goleta? Where in Goleta?
The airport, the Goleta airport.
This is amazing.
No way.
They had them from the 50s to 1969, and I was there in 1968.
And they just raced different cars?
Oh, different classes. It was SCCA, Sports Car Club of America. It was.
I know nothing.
A sanctioned,
this is so cool. I can just visualize
a sanctioned race every year, many times a year.
Really?
Yeah. So that's when I really saw like 911s and 912s and 904s and 906s. Wow. And I wasn't a Porsche guy then, but I saw these guys, and these were my heroes. The whole generation that came before me, people that were losing every year now, these guys were the weekend warriors, where they would usually have an 8-to-5 job, but on the weekend they would get hooked up to a dealership, right?
To get some money.
To get the money, and they were badass good drivers.
Yeah.
So the dealership would sponsor them to drive their cars, and it was one of those win on Sunday, sell on Monday. Yeah. So you had guys like
premise being if your car wins on Sunday. Oh gosh, the Porsche won. Gotcha.
So you had Alan Johnson, Scooter Patrick, Milt Minner, Davy Jordan. You had all these guys that were a generation before me that started in 356s out there banging fenders. And back then, there was no full-face helmets. And back then, like I said, hay bales, so you could get really close to the turns because safety was not that much of an issue.
Also, you're only going to nick a hay bale versus a cement wall or a fence
so
post or
therefore,
something.
you could actually look in the cars and see them laughing.
Yeah, you could see their faces
You
because
could see their faces,
exposed.
and they knew each other so well and trusted each other so well that they could really be competitive.
This sounds like the videos I've seen, or
was-
film I've seen of the
Sure.
old Paramount Ranch type thing. I mean, all of that stuff. Those guys, shy of the few tragedies, those guys were having a ball out there, and it looks like just a blast. I mean, I want to do it.
Paramount Ranch. Well, I've talked to guys that raced at Paramount Ranch, and everybody was nervous. And
Really? It was really that crazy?
Oh, boy.
I've walked it, and I mean, you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
certainly see where things would get screwy.
Oh,
You've
boy.
driven me through there or by there. It's,
You can drive through portions of it. I
Yeah.
think when we bought the 911, actually, we went out there and I
Okay.
drove you through the woods and stuff.
Yeah.
it's neat
But
for
you
me
can
to
walk
see
the whole
these
thing
places
with
that
some-
you guys are talking about because it's
Yes.
picturesque in a Western, like old Western-y kind of way. And it's what makes LA for like the film business.
Sure.
Those places exist and they're kept and they look awesome. And
Absolutely.
What makes LA, I think, is the fact that these things are so neat for us, for our racing heritage and all of our sports cars thing. But for everybody else, it's like, oh, well, that's where they filmed Herbie the Love Bug or Medicine Quinn, whatever her name was, Dr. Quinn, the medicine woman, whatever the heck the Hollywood thing is that's connected, multifaceted.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, my first car was a 54 Volkswagen, first of the oval
Wow.
windows, that I bought for $100 from my sister-in-law's grandfather, who was some whacked-out engineer. And he was 87 when he sold it to me, so there wasn't a straight part of the whole car except the roof because he never rolled it. And I owned it for 1 year, and I ran it out of brakes. I sold it to a guy.
Because it wasn't worth anything anyway,
No.
right? Yeah.
Well, I sold it for $75. The guy put $25 worth of brakes on it and sold it for $100.
Oh my God!
And as
So
far
it's
as
worth the parts you put into it, basically.
so as far as I know, it was still doing that for years and years.
Have you ever tried to find it?
No.
Okay.
No.
It'd be funny if it's sitting in Seinfeld's collection now or something, fully restored. You know.
So in the meantime, this friend of mine, Hector, got a hold of his father's Alfa Romeo and then another one and started building that one up. And then I helped him out. And then I ended up buying his car, and he built another one. So I had a 1959 Alfa Spider.
Cool.
And that was my Mulholland car. I got into that culture up to my eyeballs.
Is this your introduction, though, getting into the, well, I guess the VW was really lightweight, too, the low-power lightweight. But I'm thinking versus the drag strip, where it's horsepower and just get there, whereas our cars and the Alphas as well are kind of take your time to get there and just stay there.
That's actually an interesting point, because before that, when I was a kid with the drag racing friends and all that, you had cars that pounded you so hard you couldn't breathe in them. I had a friend that got a speeding ticket on Van Nuys Boulevard for the cruise. The cruise was Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. He got a speeding ticket going from one stoplight through the next stoplight and halfway to the next block. So we're talking about a block and a half, and the ticket read 92.
Whoa.
92 miles an hour. So that's the type of cars that were on Van Nuys Boulevard. And
yeah, I don't know that I could do that today. You know what I mean? That's a heck of a thing.
And there was a whole bunch of street racing going on. So the gathering spots were like Bob's Big Boy, and the Bob's that you have up the street here was one of them. So we would go from Van Nuys Bob's, that was our Bob's, to Toluca Lake Bob's, to Burbank Bob's, and see what was in the parking lot. Then we would eventually get to, after money was on the table. Now these were a little.
So the idea is you're casing the joint, right? You're seeing what's at each spot, you're summing it up and sussing everybody out.
Absolutely.
Is it kind of a brain game as well as just the cars? You're looking at the driver, the whole thing, right?
Of course.
I love it.
Of course. And some of these cars would be on trailers in the parking lot. And the biggest venue, believe it or not, was Forest Lawn Drive.
The cemetery?
Well, I've taken you on that strip. It's still there.
Forest Lawn Drive was called River Road back then. So right at Barham and Forest Lawn Drive, there used to be a standard gas station, a Chevron gas station.
For her, this is right behind Warner Brothers, the corner there, right across from Universal.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it was right at the intersection of the two streets.
Gotcha.
And just east of there was the beginning of the drag strip. And the shutoff area was just when it started doing this a little bit. So there was a lot of...
But that's longer than a regular drag strip, too, because you probably got almost a mile there, right?
Well, you had cars with parachutes. I mean, you had cars that needed
to slow them down.
To slow them down.
Like actual strip cars. That's amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Packed chutes and everything.
Absolutely. So one day...
On the street, James. On the street. Can you believe this?
So one day, me and my friends don't go on Friday. We don't go on Friday to River Road, to Forest Lawn Drive.
Right.
We hear that there was a fatality. A kid, he brought an altered from San Fernando Drags on a trailer, raced it, couldn't shut it down, the car rolled over, and he died.
Yeah. I'm sure it disintegrated at that point.
However, you got to understand that we were all like 17, 18 years old. So life was somewhat ephemeral. You know, it's just like, oh, well, that's bad. So what we did is we went Saturday, the next night.
Get back on that horse, Chuck.
Oh, my God.
So we were cruising in a car, and one of us had to pee or something, so we stopped at this gas station. We looked up the road, east on the road, and we saw, this was at night, every cop in L.A. Not only were they busting everybody, but they impounded all the cars. So we kind of snuck out and went away. And
we were just getting some gas on the slushy.
Yeah.
Don't mind us.
Now, this was Saturday, so everybody that got hauled in had to stay until Monday.
Oh, come on.
Of course.
Yep.
So
Was that their point?
at
Like
the
they-
point, no, the point.
The point was to set an example,
The
right?
point was much more adult than we had any idea of because we were all kids. The point was a child, an 18-year-old, died the day before.
Yeah.
Don't you get it?
Yeah.
To us.
Not even
Okay.
have some respect. It's more of like, hey, take this shit seriously.
Absolutely. So the next Monday at high school, there was a whole bunch of people that didn't show up.
Because they were locked up.
And their car was, one of the people was, turned out to be a very famous funny car driver in the 80s, Dale Puldee. He was a half a semester behind me.
No kidding.
And he got his car impounded that night. So there was the cruise, the Van Nuys Boulevard cruise, which I said was Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And, we've had 1,000,000 miles on that street. 1,000,000 miles.
Was that just slower, like cruising? That's what you mean by cruising?
Yeah, but I mean, the cruise was from Saticoy, where there was another kind of Bob's venue, is called Oscars, all the way to Bob's, which is on Clark Street on Van Nuys Boulevard. Then you cruised through Bob's, and then you kept going south to June Ellen's Donuts, which is still the mall there where the AMC Theater is there.
Wow.
By Ventura Boulevard. And then you went into that parking lot and headed the other direction. And then you went all the way back to Saticoy. We're talking 4.5 miles.
Okay.
And then did it all over again.
Just parade laps over and over, right?
Well, you were looking for chicks, and in all the years and all those millions of miles,
Oh, yeah.
me and my friends picked up chicks twice.
That's it?
And that was it. And
But you're showing off. You're hanging out with your
but-
friends and everything
and
else.
it was a car thing.
Yeah.
It was a car thing. So
The
that-
chicks are the candy coating on the car thing, right?
Yeah. And there were, kind of groupies too.
Sure.
So that Wednesday, after the death on Friday and the roust on Saturday,
Yep.
that Wednesday, we had a very, very nice watch commander for the Valley Police Station. He was just about ready to retire. His name was Sergeant Cook. And he knew almost all of us kids. He was always a straight shooter. He was always fair with us. He wasn't a jerk at all. He was a nice guy. So we did our cruise, and he stationed his sergeant's car at June Ellen's Donuts, which was the turnaround, just so he could have a presence to see if anybody wanted to say anything. And me and my friends, who were in a 61 Chevy Impala, did the cruise, and because we all knew Cook, we rolled down the window, and we said, "Hey, Cook, how come everybody got rousted on Saturday and everybody got impounded and all of our friends didn't show up for school on Monday?" And that's when we got the adult reality check. And he said,
He told you straight up.
almost with tears in his eyes, he said, "Don't you get it?" He says, "There's a family that doesn't have a son.
Yeah.
What do you think was going to happen? We knew that was going on, but we let it slide. As soon as something like that happened,
Now we have to do something.
we had to do something." So that was like an intake of breath there for sure.
I
So-
love him.
Puts
for
things in
doing that.
perspective, yeah. Yeah, and you're right. Good for him, because that's how you keep a presence with the youth, right?
Absolutely.
In
You
my
guys
opinion,
clearly
I think that would work
respected
today.
him, and he showed you the respect that you guys were looking for. Like whether he would, I don't know. I think it's a really good story. I'm glad he was there.
So with me and my 59 Alfa Spider, I was up on Mulholland. Now we're talking about Mulholland Drive.
Not highway.
Not Mulholland Highway.
Yep.
So Mulholland Drive. So I was up there for way too long.
Do you know Derek Whitaker? Do you know who that is?
I do.
I would love to have both of you on sometime and just watch you both talk, because he is huge into the Mulholland. He's at the Mulholland International Raceway Revivalist Consortium, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's just an adorable thing, and I love his respect and his passion for this time. You know, grandstands and all of the stuff. And there's all of those on Pelican. There's those threads about the King of the Hill and the RS car with the chopped roof and all that stuff.
I actually talked. I knew Chris Banning.
Okay.
The author of the book, and we conferred. Because we were of that same generation, we were there together, and Dave Bouziglu as well, and he
no
was
kidding.
Yeah, he was part of this.
He's going to be here next week, I think.
The consortium at the Peterson, the talk, and he was talking about Mulholland, and it was a crazy time, but we realized that there was a generation before us. That whole Steve McQueen generation was 10 years before us, and then there was before that, and then if you see some old black and white gangster movies, they had the film crews out there doing crazy stuff on Mulholland Drive. However, those years when I was up there. And I was passenger with my buddy Hector first before I got my car, so I got trial by fire being in the passenger seat.
I can't imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you, Mrs. Ryan.
Just like
I feel it.
Man. So that was not only it was a social connection, because that's what you did socially, but it was you started building a skill set. You started as crazy as it was, and that's kind of what Dave didn't mention. Which after the talk, I went up to him and because we're buddies from ever, and I said, you know what, Dave, the next time you do this, and the thing is you started building a skill set. If you were really serious about it, you started building a skill set that was invaluable. And there was a lot of people on the regional, national, and professional level of racing that came out of Mulholland.
Isn't that interesting?
Okay,
Just like karting or whatever.
I have a question, and don't let me sidebar neither of you men.
Go for it.
Mulholland Highway versus Mulholland Drive. What's the difference?
Two completely different things.
Geography, which is not your strong suit.
Correct. But I used to drive up. There's one of these Mulhollands that is like super
If
narrow.
you want to talk about like Hollywood sign through Hollywood, starting at Cahuenga, that's Mulholland Drive.
Mulholland Drive.
Like from the movie, etc. Through the Hollywood Hills and all of that.
That's the drive. So where's the highway?
The highway starts at
Is it Topanga?
No. Well, actually, yeah. In a
Because
sense,
it restarts. In
It
Topanga.
restarts at Topanga. There's 4 miles of Mulholland that's unpaved, and the residents up there want it unpaved
Yep.
Currently,
so that it's not
it's
a
unpaved.
throughway.
forever.
Okay.
Forever. So Mulholland
know.
Drive
Okay.
ends at Encino Drive,
Okay.
and
There's a little
then
fork there, right?
yeah. Well,
You can either go down the hill or to the dirt section.
Well, Encino Drive and Chelan, they do the same thing.
Oh, okay.
2 different streets that gets you back down to Encino Drive to get back to Ventura Boulevard, or you can continue on dirt, and you kind of have to have a pickup truck, kind of.
I've done it not in a pickup truck, and you end up at that. There's like there's a hiking thing and and like a World War II something,
there's
ruins or something.
There's a cistern up there for water retention, and I'm a cyclist, so I've done a lot of mountain biking up there.
Oh, okay.
But and then it starts again at Topanga Canyon. It's kind of circuitous to get there, but kind of Valley Circle out there in California. That's where it kind of starts, and Mulholland Highway is very rural, and open.
Still, it's like the horse people have horses and shit over there.
Yeah, and not very residential at all.
Okay.
And we drive that all the time too. It's where we use. It's where our private bathroom is.
Oh, okay. I like that.
So, like once I got the Porsche, I gave up Mulholland Drive, and I only started doing Mulholland Highway.
Is it because of the higher rate of speed and just less
and,
driveways, all of the stuff?
And I became older, and I realized how bloody close I came so many times on Mulholland Drive that I took up all of my luck and everybody around me.
Yeah.
So I thought
that's what that cop wanted to instill.
Enough was enough.
But I'm saying you got that cop's message. You know what I mean? You're one of the people that he helped and touched. Because it sounds like you carried that with you. Oh, I learned it later. I'm like, all the times it was close.
Well,
it's the same lesson.
Yeah, it is. But you still have a hard-headed teenager into young adult into the 20s that I was still insane up on Mulholland Drive.
Totally.
I remember that guy.
That,
I know exactly who you're talking about.
If you'd never heard that, you would have had to find it later, and who knows when or if you would have.
There
and
you
I
go.
feel like that's what you're saying.
So
you had that message to go back to.
Yeah. So I went all the way through the Alfa years with that, and then in 1974 I picked up an absolutely gorgeous 67 Type 1 VW. One owner, $850. It was beautiful. And I kept that car for 18 and a half years, and I set it up for the hills.
Really?
I did.
God,
I want to talk to you
great.
because this is my dream. I want to build a Herbie and have it all ready for the hills.
Well, it takes some thought.
I would imagine so. So you might be the guy.
And I drove that all the way till the time I bought the Porsche.
No kidding.
Yeah.
But you've had your Porsche for a long time too, right?
29 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which one is yours? Forgive me. Whatever. I'm going to stop saying that
The
eventually.
metallic blue one.
The one he's always in when he's waving at you.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah. So a little secret. We, when you're not around, refer to you as Kunu because Kunu is Chuck in Hawaiian, of course, as everyone knows.
Oh.
So when we tend to hang,
Sure.
we pick that up in Hawaii. So there's Kunu.
That's right. Yeah.
That's a Mrs. Ryan.
Well,
That's a me
There's
thing.
it's actually a tremendous amount of respect and love. I hope that it's not facetious in any way.
Hey,
We love Hawaii. What's that movie where he says
Sarah Marshall,
Yeah.
forgetting Sarah Marshall.
oh yeah.
Have you seen that?
Of course.
Okay, just making sure, man.
Oh man, hey, are you Chuck? Oh man, they're supposed to change that. Supposed to put my Hawaiian name on there. Oh, what's your Hawaiian name? Kunu. Kunu, that's cool. What's it mean? It means Chuck. So
Oh,
good, so
man.
good.
So the whole Porsche thing, this is kind of an interesting deal. So this friend of mine, Hector, built a race car, and I helped him. And it was a GTA. That's an aluminum body GTV.
Okay, I don't know much about it.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Well, they're just like a GTV, except they rolled off the assembly line with an aluminum body.
I guess I don't know what a GTV is.
Oh, well, it's an Alfa.
Oh, we're still in the Alphas. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. It's
I'm
an
sorry.
Alfa Sports sedan.
It's no problem. I thought I was unknowing in my Porsche history.
Back when Auto Week was the
Bible.
newspaper of
I remember Weekly.
well, yeah, not only that, but it was the newspaper of record for racing. So it was called Auto Week Competition Press. So they had a wonderful classified pages, multiple pages in the back, and there was no internet, nothing. So when you wanted to get a deal on a race car, that's where you looked. So in Competition Press, there was an ad for a GTA, in El Paso, Texas, for $1,000.
Wow, he's
Complete. It was complete.
You've got the touch, man.
And it
Totally.
it had a crashed right fender. That was it. So Hector married young, his first wife, married 3 times. So Hector and his wife and me took the Chevy pickup truck and a trailer, and we did El Paso, Texas in a weekend.
Whoa.
Because we all had to work on Monday.
That's not close.
Not close at all. So
I don't know exactly where El Paso is, but I've driven
Well,
from
it's
Dallas to LA straight one time, and it was ridiculous. I would never do it again. I can't even imagine going there and back.
Well,
Straight.
Dallas is pretty east, and El Paso is very West Texas, almost on the border.
So you're just touching Texas and coming back, but
Correct.
still.
Yeah, and we were there for 3 hours. That was it.
Yeah, that's
Gotta do the paperwork, right?
Right.
gotta do this deal.
So this was early 1972, and he wanted to get it ready for SCCA racing. And at that time, it would have been B sedan. That was up to 1,600 cc's.
Okay.
And then it kind of varied a little bit more to 2 liter. But the GTA came with 1,600 cc, and it was really cool because it was a factory race car. It had big carburetors, big cams.
Sure.
It had twin ignition, 2 spark plugs per cylinder, 8 plugs on a 4-cylinder.
Was that a thing back then?
Yes, it was.
No kidding.
You bet. And it rolled off the assembly line at 1,640 pounds. We're talking about
Before you even do anything to it.
that's heavy.
I see his ears just perked up. Mr. Lightweight over there.
Yeah, so 1640 is a crazy light for a little sedan.
James, what does your car weigh now?
21.
And you can't get it lighter than that, right? I mean, that's
21.
Not really.
it. Yeah.
2100.
2100.
Yeah, my car.
Yeah, but that's
my car weighs.
But there's nothing in that car. There are no door cards. There's stickers. If you took the stickers off, you might gain a couple ounces.
My car is a late 73, my Porsche, so it has the impact bars in the doors.
Right.
My car weighs 2357. So it's a, no, 2357.
Your car now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still light. Comparatively speaking, I guess not. And compared to his, it's
Well,
not.
what
but,
you want,
I mean, my car's.
the magic number is 10 pounds per horsepower.
Agreed.
I've got about 230 horsepower. So I need to be 2,300 pounds even to get that white knuckle. So anyway, so in the 1972, we are building this car for B sedan SCCA racing. We're building it for him to take to school because you have an SCCA school to qualify for a racing license, all that stuff. And he does that. Right after he goes to school and he wins all of his school races, right after that, in SCCA's inimitable wisdom, they illegalized 1,600 GTAs out of B sedan. There was no class for them. So we had to take 8 steps backwards and make a B sedan into a C sedan, which means 1,300 cc's. We had to get rid of the 7-inch wheels and go to 6-inch wheels.
Wow.
So
You're just basically classing back the car, right?
The heads are the same, those twin plug heads with the big carburetors, that's the same, but the block had to be changed to a 1,300 block.
What a fucking hassle. Get another car, get another hobby. Like, it's too much.
So it was crazy.
I had to go to El Paso for this thing.
So
Don't they know?
within the following year, the 1973 SCCA Southern Pacific season, which that's our region here, Southern Pacific region, we went to every race, and Hector won the regional championship with that Alfa.
With the 13, the detuned, the whole new, wow.
Yeah. And we were up against Mini Coopers because they were 1,300 cc's.
And really small and light.
Yes. And they did a weird thing back then. SCCA classified cars with engine efficiency as well as CCs.
No kidding.
So therefore, the least efficient engine is a pushrod, what we call rocker box engine, non-cross flow, meaning that the intake and the exhaust are on the same side. with that,
intentionally inefficient. Is that correct? In order for this,
intentionally economical, because remember, a Mini Cooper, by the way, a Mini Cooper qualified for that primitive architecture because it was a cheap family car.
Right.
So it had the most inefficient, and I'm bunny earing that, because once you got a hold of that 1275 engine, you could make it pretty powerful. However, the SCCA, seeing that it had the most primitive architecture, gave it the best weight advantage. Now, the architecture keeps getting more and more sophisticated until you get to the Alfa, which is twin overhead cam, cross-flow, exhaust on one side, intake on the other. So therefore, having the most sophisticated engine architecture, we got the shittiest weight penalty.
it makes the most sense. I get it.
Well, it does in a sense.
But it's weird how you could. There's ways to work around that, I would imagine too, right?
Well, you had to have an engine that was right on the money. So we dynoed that engine. Remember that old rule of thumb was 100
Oh, yeah.
100 horsepower.
10 to 100, yeah.
Well, that was the weight, power to weight, but the other rule of thumb was 100 horsepower per liter.
Oh, sure.
Okay? 100 horsepower per liter, normally aspirated. That means carburetors or fuel injection. Doesn't count supercharging or turbocharging. That blows that equation.
Agreed. But straight displacement, I agree with you.
Normally aspirated, 100 horsepower per liter, race tune, reliable. And all the races in SCCA are what we call sprint races, half-hour races. But that's half-hour, 10 tenths. You can't make the engine go any faster. It's redlining all the time. That's the way you have your gearbox set up. So every gear, including fifth gear, you're on the rev limiter, or it's redline. That you're there.
That's intentional, yeah.
It's either there or at the ultimate torque curve where the engine is making the most torque. Anyway, that engine, that 1300cc engine, made at Schenkel Engineering on his dyno, it made 131.5 horsepower. So it was right on the money.
Exactly where it needed to be.
Exactly where it needed to be. So seeing that we needed to weigh so bloody much, and the car rolled off at 1640, we had to weigh almost 2,000 pounds. So
Is that with driver or is that straight
no.
ballast?
No, that's without driver. So we kept the full interior. So here was this race car with a full roll bar. It had
With the seatbelt and everything.
it had a heater. It had a headliner.
Oh, my.
Oh, my
it had
God.
everything in it.
It's
And
just so against the
Does
rules.
not sound like a race car.
and we had to bolt lead plates to the bottom
Ballast.
of the
Oh, my.
car. Yeah. And
At least you put it in the right place. Some people don't
Of
know
course.
to do that.
of course.
I would not.
So
You want that low and center.
after the 73 season, he won the regional championship C sedan.
In
Yeah,
what
and
looks
I-
like a family truckster. With all
Well-
the stuff inside it and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Well-
Just that's the first thing you would take out in a race car,
Well, of course.
logically.
So that brought him to try a couple of national races. It's kind of a big departure between regional and national.
How come?
Everybody
Think of the playing field.
ups their game.
Okay.
Everybody ups their game.
Music or swimming when you were a kid,
I
like
was just
doing
making
regionals
sure.
versus... No, I'm just saying regionals
Yeah.
versus nationals. All of a sudden,
It's a big
you
deal.
got the best from every little community.
So I believe it was the
Yeah.
second national that he tried. He rolled that car in turn 2 at Riverside.
Oh,
Really rolled it.
like wrecked it, rolled it.
Wrecked it, rolled it. Now today, that car would be restored, of course.
Oh, value-wise.
Because it's a GTA. It's a rare car. But back then,
Totaled it.
we threw it away, and he took the engine out, all the running gear, and sold that,
Oh, good.
and bought a Formula Ford. So, well, everybody back then was an erstwhile race car driver. in other words, the stepping stone was going to be Formula One. That was the big dream. That was everybody's dream, was to become a Formula One driver.
Sure.
So the
And
stepping
you've made
stone
it.
for that is Formula Ford, then Formula Atlantic, and then have somebody look at you and see how cool you are. So he did a Formula Ford, and we ended up campaigning. When I say we, I was the pit crew. He was the driver. He was the owner. He was a shop owner. He's been a professional mechanic since he's been 14. So he ran a business and he ran his race car, and I was the pit crew. So he campaigned that car in 1976, the Formula Ford, and he won regional championship in 1976.
It's unbelievable.
Good
he
for
had,
him.
So doing okay.
he had 2 regional championships in the 70s under his belt. Today, he restores Alfa Romeos and still races, vintage races them. And he's just turned 69. He's 3 months older than me and still going strong.
Love it.
Happy birthday.
Well, we drive with you a lot, so I know you're out there.
Yeah,
So
no messing around.
while we were doing the Alfa, the GTA, we were tire testing at Willow Springs. You do a lot of testing when you have a race car.
Sure.
So we were out at Willow Springs, and back in those days, you always had a big guy on the crew. And that was for a lot of different reasons. And one of the reasons is because he's a big guy. One of the things that, and here's why, and a lot of people my age that were into it will smile at this one. What you did when you went to the races, like to Riverside, Riverside had 2 garages, indoor garages, right?
Okay.
You had the Goodyear garage, the Firestone garage. So what you wanted to do is you wanted to get there early with your pickup truck and your trailer, and you wanted to have your big guy with you. And you let the big guy out of the pickup truck. He would roll an empty 55-gallon trash can in front of your pits and stand there with his arms crossed.
Security.
And so
Imposing figure.
So nobody else would get that pit
That's amazing.
because you didn't want to be out in the shit and the gravel, because that was the alternative. After all of those venues were taken up, you were out there. So
I'm just picturing the morning with a string of big guys and
there-
trash cans just
there was
blocking
a-
the entrances.
There was a lot of them.
Blocking all the
hope
bays.
there's
There was a
photos.
lot of them.
That's
So then you go and have to put your trailer where the trailers are. You had to roll off your car, and then your big guy would roll out the trash can. You would roll your car in the pits, and that's the deal. So we were at Willow Springs. We had that big guy was really a super nice guy and came from a very well-connected family in Pasadena, Tom. And he was a player, a car player, and he bought and sold cars and stuff like this. Now, we're talking 1972.
Okay.
So we pull into Willow Springs, into the pits, and Tom is already there waiting for us. Tom, this is my connection with 911s. That this is the
Your original connection, or
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, after seeing them on the racetrack and kind of getting that, the real visceral connection was this day, this morning at Willow Springs.
Okay.
So Tom had already gotten there from Pasadena, and in the pits, he parked his street car. This was a burgundy 69 911S.
I feel like we
Right?
love that.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was just sitting there.
I-
He had
I-
been there waiting for
I'm
us. for
picturing
like
gold badges and everything. I want it. Yeah, I'm picturing it. I
Exactly.
would love. Yeah.
Exactly.
Dream car. Sure.
Exactly. So he's there to help. He's there to help. So we roll off the Alfa and we're testing it, and Hector's going around the track and we're taking times and we're checking tire pressures and all that stuff. And I know what that car is like because I've been in the race car, and so I know what's going on there. So we're doing this. We're pounding on this for a while, and it's getting time for lunch. So, time for lunch, Tom says, well, I'll go get some lunch. And by the way, the Oasis Trailer Park General Store is still there today on Rosamond Road.
Okay.
But back then,
I know where you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Back then, it was the only thing.
Where all
Only
those
thing.
gas stations are and everything, none of that was there. No kidding.
No. So you're talking about halfway back to the 14, halfway
Yes.
back to the freeway. So you're talking 2.5 miles or so. So I say, hey, I'll go with you so I could put the sandwiches and the Cokes and stuff on my lap, because he says, yeah. So I get in the car. Now, mind you,
This is the 911 now.
this is the 1969 911S. You're talking about a 2-liter, right? 69.
New, yeah.
Yeah, they haven't gone to 2.2 yet. So you're talking about a pretty small engine, 2-liter. And you're talking about Tom, who is our big guy, right?
Now I'm seeing the significance here.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
now I see where you're going.
I go in the car, in the passenger seat, and I say, what's up with the car? And he says, well, this is a 1969 911S, and it's got a Bursch exhaust, and a short gearbox, a closed
That's it.
gearbox. That's it. And I said, oh, okay, because at that time, I'd been through the whole drag race era as a kid, and I've been through the road race deal, and I know the race car that we're testing with. I know that car. It's a race car. My God, we put it on a trailer. We got it here on a trailer. So Tom goes out on the driveway, makes the left on Rosamond Road, and just plants his foot in that car all through the gears, all the way to 5th. And I'm like,
And probably before he was even out of the turn is when he hit it, of course.
I'm flailing.
Yeah.
I'm going, I can't breathe. It's just like,
You thought you were getting sandwiches.
gotta be kidding me. So we pull up to the Oasis store. We get our sandwiches and stuff. Hey, I'm balancing the stuff. He turns around and he does the same goddamn thing on the way back. And this experience burns itself
I
in
can
my
see it
brain.
I can see it in your
my
eyes.
brain. It was just like, so a lot of things got really real to me at that point as we're having our sandwiches and stuff. I'm going, and I'm keeping it to myself, but it's registering in my head. I was thinking, well, this car's been sitting cold,
Yeah.
and
That's the
he
other
gets
thing.
in it, and he pounds the crap out of it.
And it seems to like it.
And he likes it. 2, it's just a 2-liter car, and he's way over 200 pounds, and I'm whatever I weigh. And this car, 3, is faster than the race car that we trailered
Yeah.
that's on the track.
Yeah.
Way faster. And 4, once he's done, he's going to drive it home to Pasadena.
Yep. Not on a trailer.
So all of that stuff kind of registered in my brain, and it took me 18 years of that Volkswagen later, but when it was time for the Volkswagen to leave, which a lot of people to this day are pissed because everybody loved that car.
Even I'm thinking, boy, I wish
Boy,
I could have seen it.
Yeah, but here I am. I'm already in my 40s, and I'm at a stoplight, and I got a 16-year-old guy in another Volkswagen going, "Hey, buddy."
Yeah,
I'm going,
yeah.
Wait a minute.
You're good.
Maybe,
Yeah.
So,
I hear you.
So after the whole Volkswagen era, which I stopped counting receipts at $22,000 into that Volkswagen.
18 years, you said? You had it?
Yeah, so you do things,
A little over 1,000 a year. That's a lot.
you start doing things 2 and 3 times over again. you know,
Right,
and
right,
New
right,
technology
right.
comes out, so you do that. So
That's
it ended
interesting.
up being a 1776 dual 40 Webers Ingle cam.
1776. What is that?
CCs.
Oh gosh, like the bicentennial.
A 1776
Gotcha.
dual 40s Webers, Engelcam, real good transmission, beef-a-diff transaxle, dual sway-away adjustable front end, short shocks.
So you were ready to get into the 911. You were tricking this thing out like a 911 all that time.
Actually, I had it wired. I could slide that car from one side to another, which didn't help me the first time I drove the 911.
Yeah.
I almost lost that whole program the first turn.
Really?
Thinking that I was in a swing axle Volkswagen. It's like,
Not the same.
not today. So anyway, so that experience with Tom's Burgundy 69S was what got in my head. And that started me on the whole Porsche thing.
Wow.
And it took a few years before I realized that the early S registry wasn't a scam to get people's addresses so they would go and steal your car.
I'm glad we're talking about that though, because here's the S's magazine from the early 911S registry. What's your involvement?
There are 4 people that run the club. I'm one of the 4.
Okay. I saw
And
your name on the masthead here. I just
yeah.
wasn't sure exactly what capacity.
I'm the creative advisor. I'm the guy that designed the logo and the badge and all of that stuff. And it really took a lot of thought to do that. I mean, it's reminiscent.
I'm a creative too, so I get it.
It's kind of reminiscent of the Waltmeister badge, but
That's what it looks
it's
like.
a little bit early Corvette influence there.
I see that with the checkered flag and the red and black and white.
Yeah. So
and then this is Porsche font up here, right?
Yeah. So the club was run by a husband and wife in Western Pennsylvania, Vern and Betsy Lyle. And what's funny is people used to say, well, this isn't rocket science. And it turns out that Vern and Betsy were rocket science.
There you go. Always. The moment somebody says that, a real one stands up and raises their hand.
So they did it by themselves on a mimeograph newsletter and stuff like that. It was very
Really? They would run it off?
Yeah, it was very do-it-yourself because he was an engineering guy. So he had a 73S Targa that he used to slalom, and he would say, well, this is how I did this. And it kind of did the spark of the S registry. And fundamentally, it was going to be a register of 911S's.
Like the 356 and so on and so forth, 912. They all have...
Yeah, but again, we're talking about a niche within a niche.
Right, okay.
Because you had all types of 911s, and it was just going to be a place for 911S's. So after 5 years, Vern and Betsy raised their hand. They couldn't do it anymore because they were going to get into other racing, and they just didn't have the time anymore. So we, meaning not me quite yet, but a bunch of SoCal people, seeing that we have the majority of these cars in Southern California, took over the club after 5 years. So that was about 1995, and I joined in I became part of the board of the club and did the logo in 96 and became part of the running of the club kind of soon after that. So
wow, 22 years, Chuck.
Yeah, and we do meetings once a month, every month in El Segundo. And at 68, I'm the young guy of us 4. We've got people that are in their 80s, but they've been doing they've been doing this.
How about they're out
time.
driving? Isn't that the best part?
Yeah, a lot of them. Well, I am.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point, you know?
Yeah. So
It's neat to have everyone still involved.
Yeah.
Besides being the creative advisor, when we started the website and then moreover the message board.
Get people talking.
Sherwood actually started it.
Started the message board?
For us, yeah.
kidding.
And then
Sherwood Lee, everybody.
Sherwood
Shout out
Lee.
to Sherwood Lee.
Absolutely.
Thank you for all of your events and drives and everything else. All of your
Absolutely.
coordination is very much appreciated.
Wonderful guy. After that, he kind of backed away, and then I became the default moderator by myself of an international message board. So I would moderate every post of every thread every day. And
It's a lot of work, Chuck.
it was.
I did that for a little bit a long time ago, too. It's a lot of work.
And then about 5 years ago or so, maybe a little longer, we have this really, really great member, Peter Kane, up in San Francisco. And I raised my hand. I needed help, particularly in the commerce end of the message board, the classifieds, which is, I would have to admit, the majority of the posts are classifieds. So Peter volunteered to be the co-moderator, and I rely on him quite a lot, and we exchange views on stuff like that. And
Like selling old cars, like old car properties, is that?
no, actually not. Most of it is parts.
Oh, okay.
Most of the exchanges are parts, and we don't allow any commercial advertising.
Oh, that's good.
So it's all person to person, and we don't allow anything but stated prices. So there's no haggling or auctioning online.
I like that.
So we keep that really tight, and I've been criticized for being pretty Protestant in my moderation as far as language, as far as keeping everything.
Well, you mean
under
you don't want people to say, buy my fucking parts? Like, why are people using bad language on your message board?
So there's no trash talking.
Good.
Believe it or not, some of the biggest challenges are politics and religion.
Surprise.
On an auto-centric message board.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
She's right. It's everywhere right now, right?
So I keep, to a lot of people's chagrin, I keep a real tight ship. I might trash talk and swear like a sailor in my personal life, but I
different.
just
But
don't.
not there.
It's different.
But I just don't allow it on the message board.
The message board, in my opinion, is a resource.
Yeah.
And it's a place where people come to get information. They come to get knowledge. They come to get community, camaraderie, all of that stuff. If it's a place where not everyone is made to feel comfortable, you've lost.
Plus, it's a reflection on the club as well.
All of the above.
Absolutely. And it's international.
There's another thing. Lost in
Yeah.
translation.
Yeah, and another thing is one of the examples is a friend of mine is obsessed with the message board like so many people are. It's really an obsession. When that message board goes down for
It's a
one
problem.
reason, oh,
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Well, how many members about?
well, paid membership through our club, seeing that the message board is public, so we can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Sure.
In other words, you can't. I mean, it's a public message
Yeah,
board, so it's free.
I'm not a member of the club. I can join them. That's what I'm saying. But how many? I'm trying to figure out how
So-
many personalities we're dealing with.
We're talking about over 15,000
No.
registered message board members, and at any given time, there's 3 times that number looking.
Watching, yeah,
Watching.
reading, yeah,
So we're talking about a lot of eyeballs.
yeah. What's your post count on the? I mean, this has been around a long time. It's got to be.
Well,
I always look at that at the bottom to see what the activity is. You know, it's got to be a lot.
lots.
Yeah, it's got to be a lot.
Lots. So it's
Put a bunch of know-it-alls in a room together, and it's going to get long-winded.
if I'm on their only 7 times a day I'm having a good day.
Yeah. It's like Facebook for other people.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, it's a job.
I don't do Facebook, so I don't know.
Right.
Good
You
for
can't,
you.
Yeah.
you can't possibly. No time.
So it's been a job. It's been a passion. It's all volunteer. So that's the early 911S registry.
I love it. I think while we were talking there, I think I found a video I wanted to play, which should be from the Sherwood run the other day, but you're in it.
Oh, really?
So I don't know if you've seen it or not, but we've played this already, but I think this is it. Let's give it a shot here. Take a look.
Probably pretty good.
All right, roll it, Hal. We found the donut man. There's Mrs. Ryan right over there. Good morning. There you are. Which way? This way? This way? This way? This way? I thought to myself, oh, I'll just pull over and I'll be able to get a nice shot of everybody coming by, and it's a clusterfuck. Everybody's like, wait, where are we stopping? What color is that Viper? What color is that? I'll see through. Here we are, Sherwood one. Plus this little guy. Hi, buddy. He's all right. Eric Williams taking a picture of Camp Williams. We love Eric. He was awfully nervous about telling you he might have to do other stuff.
Yeah, well, I relied on
Same thing. There you are. Yes, we were. Who knew?
I love that video.
There you go. A little something.
Me too. And I had, after living all my life in Southern California, I had never been on that canyon, ever.
I'm so glad to hear that. We had never either, and we were excited. I had no idea that it was this big a deal.
Oh,
That's very cool.
I'll tell you, that was 40, 45 minutes of second gear switchbacks going in. It was heaven.
Yeah.
It was just heaven. It was wonderful.
That was a great run. I'd never been back. Had you ever been back there, James?
Yeah, it was.
Good group of people too.
It was. It was pretty amazing. It was interesting the first couple of miles with the luge people coming down.
Holy cow!
Not fun. As a
No.
You know, I was so glad they kept on their side of the road.
I hope they had a good time.
Well,
but I was,
some of our people didn't, though. That's why I was asking about the color of that, and got a lot of this from the guys coming down the road. And I agree, except I don't think what you're doing is legal either.
yeah.
Yeah. And there was a lot of cyclists, and that's a hard pull up there. Because back in my day, I used to be one of those guys, and up on Mulholland Highway and Stunt Road and all that.
You would ride up Stunt Road?
I would cycle that, yeah.
You're a monster.
Yeah, that's
That is
crazy.
So
No, I'm not a monster.
in the physical, like, holy cow, that you had to have as a person, like, that's so hard.
Oh, I got a great story.
Let's hear it.
So
I love great stories.
okay, so this is like, oh man. During this time, I was helping my buddy with his race cars. I was working with Crazy Kids mental health and all that, getting no money at all. So I really couldn't exercise my passion, except when I got the Volkswagen, I started putting money in it and stuff like that. So what I got through a friend of mine, bless his heart, and he's no longer with us anymore, got me into cycling. in 1972. And he was the type of guy that said, no, you just don't go on your bike. You have to get the helmet, the gloves, the shoes. He really
The whole
got
thing.
me into it. So I got really, really serious about that. So I got, both of us, me and this friend of mine, Mort, started teaching cycling at community college. We do all types of tours
So
and
impressed
this and
with you.
that. It was fun. But again, this was through the 70s into the 80s, and then, gee, guess what? I got a Porsche. So I have 3 good bicycles in the garage, in that nice garage I told you about, but on the wall.
Hang it up.
But anyway,
Look at that.
no, I cycle every day because I had a hip replacement, and it is wonderful exercise.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, no impact, right? Or minimal impact, I guess.
Actually minimal impact, yeah. So here it is. Mort and I, we think we're badass, and we are what we would call very strong recreational cyclists. However, as you know, if you ever want to know about something, go to the pointy end of that particular thing you think you know about and you think you're good at, right? So
This is regionals go up to nationals again, same thing.
So locally to here, there was Bob Kemp's Schwinn shop on Laurel Canyon and Chandler.
Okay.
And out of that Schwinn shop was no less than 6 or maybe 8 of the 1968 Olympic cycling team. And they were called the North Hollywood Wheelmen. And they were the fastest club in Southern California.
Holy crap.
So we're bad. Morton and I,
Oh my
hey, we're bad.
God.
So they have.
Allow me to get James over there too, who is laughing quite hard.
So they had, and as far as I know, they still do. They had their Wednesday Griffith Park ride, right? And the ride, believe it or not, started at the same gas station.
Come on.
Bar M and Forest Lawn Drive. Okay. They did, and it was very organized. They had senior riders with, and everything was very serious because to them, every ride was a potential Olympic training
They're training,
exercise,
yeah.
right? Okay, so they had junior riders, intermediates, and seniors, and 3 groups milling around the parking area of this gas station, the trail is going up Forest Lawn Drive, going through Travel Town, going up and over the carousel.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Through the park now.
Through the park,
Yep.
up around the carousel, going back to the main road, and then keeping on going to Los Feliz,
Oh.
up to the end of the park, and then turning around and going back.
So like
And
at the
that would-
turn around at the fountain kind of thing, go back.
Correct.
Got it.
And that's 1 lap.
Oh,
And
come
they-
on.
And they would do it a couple of times.
What's not mentioned here is the topography changes. I mean, there's a lot of...
Sure. So,
We'll get there.
so Mort and I, we're bad, right? We thought, oh, what the hell? We'll go off with the juniors.
Oh,
The
no.
juniors are kids,
Oh,
right?
no.
Yeah.
So they go, and that's the way they would go off in 5-minute intervals. And some old guy would blow a whistle, and the juniors would go off, and then the intermediates and the seniors.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fabulous.
So we thought, well, these are kids, so we're bad. So we're going to be out in the front of the peloton, right? So we're doing our thing and cranking, and we're pulling this group, and we're thinking, wow, we're doing really good. God.
Stamina.
And then we hear, now talk about equality starts at this level, right? I hear a very soft voice. Now this is 1972, so I hear a very soft voice, and and the voice is, "On your left, sir." And it's a 14-year-old girl with braces.
Being very polite,
And-
using good manners.
And she
On your left.
just cranks with the rest of the juniors.
Oh my God.
They crank by us.
On your left, sir.
On your left, sir.
Sir.
Right?
Pardon me, sir.
So we're pretty despondent, right?
Not bad.
So as we're trying to get through this ride and we're heading towards the carousel, the intermediates on your left.
Slightly less polite.
And-
Slightly less.
What? Sure.
Everyone's coming back.
And then, just before we get to the carousel, the seniors pass us. So we say, "This is terrible. Fuck this. We're gonna go home." So we're going to go around the carousel, forget the rest of the ride to Las Feliz, and we're going to go back to the gas
Straight
station.
back to Travel Town to the gas station.
Right back to the gas station, right? So the first people to pass us are the seniors that have passed the intermediates and the juniors, right? On your left, and they're
Decidedly less polite.
and they are cooking, and we're going, holy shit! They went all the way to Las Feliz. They passed the two other groups. We cut the ride in half. So then we get motivated, Mort and I, because we get our wind
Competitive.
back a little bit.
Yes.
Plus, we're wusses, and we only did half the ride. So we start pedaling a little bit more. The intermediates pass us, right? On your left, shoom. Now we're in sight of the gas station.
Oh my God.
About
Oh my God! You
200
came back. You turned around half, and they've completed
Right.
in their.
Now,
I skipped
200 yards. 200 yards before the gas station, the juniors go,
No.
"On your left, sir."
it. Very
And the
polite
little-
again. Very
the
polite
little
again.
14-year-old girl passes us. And we went, okay, now we understand in the order of the pointy end of the sport
Oh my God.
where we are in this.
Oh,
Wow.
so good.
It was the humanity and the humility.
Yeah.
And the humility. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so great. A 14-year-old.
Oh God, it was wonderful. It was really wonderful. We knew.
I love that this all
was.
was blocks from here too. I mean, this
And it
entire
was
story literally blocks from here.
Blocks from here. The River Road drag race where the kid got killed, the North Hollywood wheelman, and so many other
Everything
things.
at Forest Lawn, which is
Yeah,
now
yeah.
really high in
Well,
17.
not only that.
Convenient that they have a
Yeah.
burial place right there.
What's interesting also, and I don't know if you knew this, is there's an office building, a small office building, kind of like two-story.
Kind of like two-story?
No, it's a two-story office building, but it was like 1950s modern kind of, and it was the offices of NHRA,
You're
the
kidding.
National Hot Rod Association. When Wally Parks and his wife started the organization in downtown LA, they kind of ran out of room and they got enough juice to build a building. And that was there for over 20 years. And it's a little bit east of where George Barris's shop is on the north side of the street.
You're kidding. Right on Riverside.
Right on Riverside Drive. It had a beautiful red, white, and blue NHRA logo.
The building's still there?
Cute.
I believe it might.
How
it
cool.
is.
It's probably a bank or something
It
now.
is. It's funny reading all the memoirs from those original guys, the safety safari guys back in the 50s when they started drag racing.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are not with us anymore, but Alex Axidius is still with us, and he's like 90-something, and he's got the most wry sense of humor today. You know, he just cracks you up.
And these are the original drag strip guys. I mean,
These are the
NHRA
guys that
was.
started
Yeah.
NHRA. There was no NHRA.
How did you said earlier that you got into this whole car thing? I mean, your thing started with drag strips, and then you found road courses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of similar in that my dad used to take me every year to the NHRA Summer Nationals, Englishtown, New Jersey.
Oh my!
So we would go every year to see. My uncle or cousin or somebody worked for U.S. Tobacco at the time. So anything skull related.
Sure.
Dom Perdome at the time for him. When we went to the NHRA museum with the Porsche Club thing, I was like, it happened to be like the anniversary of my dad's death or something, and we happened to be there for something. I was like, he used to take me every year to go watch him race, like that car. I used to watch that car race. But essentially, that was always so cool to me. Top Fuel, all of the alcohol too, but the smell of the Top Fuel was like tear gas burning your eyes. It left its mark on me as a kid as well. And I thought, that's 300 miles an hour was just happening then. Like Kenny Bernstein was just starting to do that.
200 miles an hour was.
That's what you hit?
Was starting when I was a kid. 200 miles an hour. I remember seeing Frank Cannon and the Hustler 5. You had to brake. You had to back it up within 2%, or else the record didn't stand.
Is that right?
And he backed it up. So it was 200 and something at Lions Drag Strip with that beautiful air that everybody loved. But to finish my thought with Alex Exidius, the 90-year-old, he said, back in those days, the reason we hung out and we volunteered was because of Wally Parks' wife. Everybody wanted to sit next to her because she was so beautiful.
How funny is that? Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
God, I love it. That's so funny.
And you mentioned Don Perdome. I always think of myself. You have a wonderful Woody Allen poster. In this crazy community of racing and automania, I think of myself kind of like a Zelig. I just was at the right place at the right time throughout my experience from age 12 to today.
That's probably on purpose.
I've been at highlight things that went on in racing. It's just and I appreciate the luck.
But I think that's what makes you. That's what makes you you. That's what makes you so special. Is the fact that you do appreciate it. You're not just, you know what I mean. You're not just somebody who has a nice car and spends time in the canyons on the weekends. You really do appreciate the history and everything you've been present for or part of. Things that you've helped make and create.
It falls off of you when you're around. It's really neat.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, you just mentioned Don Perdome. Don Perdome is 10 years older than me, meaning that he's the same age as my brother, and they went to school together.
You're kidding.
No.
Where?
Van Nuys and Fulton Junior High.
Cool.
Unbelievable.
And Don Perdome
I didn't even know he was from out here.
Oh,
I had no idea.
Southern California guy, yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. I mean, meeting him in Englishtown, New Jersey as a kid every summer,
He was local.
Yeah.
Well, I just didn't know. No, they were touring the world. I didn't know where anybody was from.
Gotcha.
Don Perdome had a brother, Manette Perdome, and they were a dynamic duo, and they were badass.
Wow.
Like hoods in school. That's what my brother used to tell me.
He's kind of a hood on the racetrack too. I mean, that was sort of his reputation.
He was pretty tough.
Don the Snake Prudhomme. Hello.
He was pretty tough. I once met him at there used to be a crazy Chinese restaurant, excuse me, on Ventura Boulevard, just south of the freeway, on the east side of the street. Mm-hmm. It was an upstairs Chinese restaurant, and I was there, and Don and his wife were there, and I walked up to him just to say how I appreciate it, and I kind of resemble my older brother. My older brother is no longer with us anymore, but we resemble each other, and I went up to him just to shake his hand and say, you're one of my
You didn't
heroes.
mention the brother. You didn't mention.
And he said, "Do I know you?"
You died.
And I said, "Oh, I think you went to school with my brother." And I think he even remembered his name. Yeah, it was pretty weird. It was pretty weird.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So, thinking about that, I lived, when I was a kid, for 13 years. We rented a house that was right across the street from Fulton Junior High. right down the street were the Dixons of Larry Dixon. Larry Dixon Jr. is one of the, well, actually, he's semi-retired, but he was the top fuel guy forever and ever, ever, Larry Dixon Jr. Well, our hero on Van Nuys Boulevard was his dad.
Oh, no kidding.
His dad, Larry Dixon, was the Fonz of Van Nuys Boulevard. He was the coolest guy there was. He had the best 55 Chevy there was in a city of 55
Chevys. Yeah, sure.
He had the best one.
Wow.
He had the best one. And he worked as the head mechanic for B&M Hydro, which was on Woodman, right across the street from the Schlitz Brewery.
All here.
All
here in the valley.
All here. So, of course, his 55 had a 327 V8 with a B&M Hydro automatic. So, therefore, he could cruise the boulevard with one hand on the steering, one hand around his blonde girlfriend, who turns out to be Larry Dixon Jr.'s mom.
Oh, my gosh.
Same gal.
But,
and around his girlfriend, later to become his wife, was a gold Coors can.
Yeah.
And I swear to you, I have been cruising next to Larry, and all of us kids would go, hey, Larry, and he would go, maybe, and he was just like the best, right? And I would see a cop pull up next to him and see the Coors can, and he would go, hey, Larry, just like that.
Same thing.
Same thing. That's how cool
my gosh.
Larry Dixon Sr. was.
Larry had it down.
Oh,
That's so
man.
Stinking cool. That's a great story.
See, I think that's so cool. I mean, that's just amazing.
We've been going for almost 2 hours here. You got to come back, Chuck. There's so many stories to hear more, and there's things I didn't even get to ask you. You're awesome. You're so informative, and you're a really good spirit, man. Seriously, I'm looking in your eyes, and I'm like, you were right. You were right, James Gambit.
James knows.
Yeah, you do.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you so much. Anytime.
Yeah,
Anytime. There's lots of stuff.
Yeah,
There's
we didn't
lots
even
of stuff out there.
We didn't even get into Porsche too much for the Porsche people, but the SoCal culture, the car culture, and the history is totally what I'm into.
It's
It
what I
doesn't matter
love
if it's
hearing
Porsche
about.
or anything else. I love hearing these stories.
It was all here. It was all here. And my Zelig thing, I just happened to be, even as a kid, just at the right place at the right time. I just was there, and I remember it.
Seeing that and seizing opportunities is another part of it too, though. So you've obviously paved your path along the way.
Yeah, and I back it up.
It's not just that you were present.
Yeah, and I back it up. Like James will tell you, like I'll say I'll weave some yarn, I'll tell a story, but then I'll back it up with a photograph that I'll send him, and I'll say, and here it is.
Yeah.
This is it, right there. Because there's so much of it out there that you don't need to make it up. I mean, if you were there and if you were present, and
Who's
if you
making
have
this shit up?
If you have
Are people out there making this shit up?
a good memory,
People don't. And then they, like me, they embellish it because they want to have the story sometimes.
Yeah.
This is my problem, not yours. You do not embellish. You do have the stories. James, listen to him and trust his stories. Don't demand photographic evidence.
Following the Batmobile.
Following the Batmobile on the freeway?
Actually, I
Is this a good story to end on?
Well, it's one of those stories, seeing that Barris's shop is right here.
Sure.
I was going someplace super early in the morning on the 134, just bypass where it does the thing. And if you've looked at some of the Batman or Barris books, illustrated books, photograph books, you'll see a picture of the Batmobile deploying the bat chutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
With the camera car in back.
I know exactly the black and white photo you're talking about. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I was about a little less than a quarter of a mile behind that going on.
You're kidding. The actual shoot? That photo?
Zelig.
Holy
Of that
crap. Look
photo.
at this.
You're
That photo's hanging in the shop at Barris
I
Custom.
happened to be there, and
Are you in the background of that shot? Because it's shooting, the front of the car looking backwards.
there was two theatrical motor cops in back of the camera car holding
Keeping
everybody
people
back.
back.
And I'm thinking, what is going on up there? It's like really early in the morning.
God.
And back then, really early in the morning, there was nobody.
No one's around.
Anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I was.
I can't wait for you to come
That's
back. You sound
awesome.
like him. It's
was
so
there.
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And my George, he was a different guy in his older years. He was kind of more of a hanging on to things he didn't necessarily have anything to do with. You know what I mean? And it kind of got a little bit his legacy and his what he was so famous for. I think got a little bit tainted.
Well,
which is a shame.
in my shop, because when I was growing up, all of us car guys together, and we used to kid each other, and they would say, you kind of look like George Barris a little bit.
You?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
So I said,
Billy
really?
Joel, maybe.
Really?
Billy
And
Joel, I could see.
whatever. So I was at a car show, and Barris was there, and I got a picture next to him, and I have it in my shop.
Oh, that's
at
cool.
home.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so I sent it to everybody. I said, "You sure?"
Yeah.
And they go, "Uh-huh."
He had his nylon jacket on the whole thing, I'm sure.
Probably.
Yeah, that was his thing. Well, gosh, Chuck Miller, please come back.
Please come back. Who knew?
Because there's other things I actually want to ask you about. We didn't get into any of your movie history or your time at Disney or Imagineering or special effect. You've got a lot of stuff that I actually want to hear about as well. So I hope you will come back and talk with us again.
I have a lot of
Yes.
stories.
Oh, good.
Thank you very much, guys.
Oh my gosh, James Gambit, good call. You're a good booker.
Yeah, James.
I like it. Give Miss- all right, I love you, Mrs. Ryan. Should we
Love
check
you.
in? There we go. The cat is locked in the other room because of allergies here for Chuck. But
She's not
a little
seeming
bit of-
upset about it.
She is or isn't?
Not at all.
Oh, good. Well,
right.
Barely moving.
All right, everybody. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Love you.
that was super
Thanks,
fun.
Jared.
It's fun because you're really good at it.
Yeah.
It just